Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, So Little Time. My name is Karen. So I hope you're all doing really well and thank you very much for joining me today. I thought I'd just come on and have a quick of a catch-up type of video with you. I just feel like I haven't really come on and spoken to you in a general format for quite a while. I have had a few videos go up for pattern tests and blog posts and things like that, but I haven't really been focusing on very many of my own sort of personal makes and that kind of stuff. So I just thought I'd give you an update as to where I'm at with everything really. So I'm just sat here at the moment doing some cutting out with my rotary cutter. I have just had something really disgusting happen though, and I was just whizzing along cutting it and I nicked the top of my finger and quickly ran to the kitchen, got the plaster on it and stuff, and then came back and realised there was a piece of my finger on the table. Sorry if that's really disgusting, but I was really shocked. And it's not bad enough to obviously go to hospital or anything like that, but I've put 2 plasters on. It's quite sore, but there's obviously no skin to cover it, so it won't stop bleeding. So I'm just doing some more cutting out, but I am being dead careful. So what I'm cutting out at the moment is some fabric strips because since I last spoke to you, I have now been appointed as assistant cub leader for my son's cub group, and I'm really enjoying it. And the last 2 weeks have been my craft week for Mother's Day, so I've really enjoyed doing that, and I decided that the craft would be for the children to make a raggy wreath. So to do that you need to cut out lots of fabric strips and then tie them onto the metal ring to make like a raggy kind of circle that you can hang up on your door or in your house somewhere, and I thought that would be quite a nice little Mother's Day present for them to give. But what I didn't realise was how much fabric it was going to take. I had cut out a shed load of fabric strips to take with me down to the group, and I'd ordered all of the rings, so I've got I think there was about 26 cubs doing it, and I cut out all these fabric strips and I thought there was going to be enough. And I also did take some fabric there with me as backup so I could cut them whilst we were there. So there was actually 3 of us cutting out fabric strips whilst the cubs were tying the little fabric strips onto the wreath ring. But we even ran out of fabric after we cut out the excess as well. So I couldn't believe it. So luckily we've got 2 weeks of sessions. So my last session is tonight. So I'm just frantically cutting out some more fabric strips. I had to go and buy some more fat quarters because I have used up the majority of the big pieces of my fabric scraps for them. So my leader, he said, yeah, just go and get some, whatever you need, don't be out of pocket. So that was really nice. And I'm currently cutting out this really pretty leopard print one at the moment. And I've just cut out loads of really pretty ones. So there's like fruits on these ones and things. So yeah, they're not really colour coordinating them. They're just picking whatever they want and putting them all on. And I think they look quite effective at the end. But I'm going to have to cut some of the pieces of fabric down because I cut them longer than they should be, just so it was easier for them to tie on. But yeah, I've really been enjoying being a cub assistant leader. It's been really fun, and I actually got invested whilst we were at Duxford Air Museum a couple of weeks ago now, and I'll insert a photo here actually of myself and my friend Lee, both of us getting invested at the same time, where we got our neckers and things. So yeah, it does feel really nice when you get that actually, and it's just that you're recognisable then as sort of a leader, which is lovely. And I've gotten to know the children really well. A few of them are from my son's school, so I already knew them, but yeah, it's been nice to get to know the rest of them, and I am thoroughly enjoying it. It just, it just gets me out for that evening, because Harry's there anyway, so I'm only hanging around waiting really to pick him up, and I'm just learning a lot as well. We're making bird boxes in the next couple of weeks, so that's really nice. I mean, I'm not really into woodwork, but I did help them measure them up the other week, so yeah, it's been really fun. They are actually crying out for some more leaders because the scout leaders are stepping down at the end. I think it's at the end of the summer term. So if they don't have anybody to step in after them, then unfortunately there isn't going to be a cub group. So I am part of the committee and trying to do some kind of recruitment drive. So if you're local and you fancied having a go, let me know. Or if you know anybody who would like to do it, let me know, and I'll put their name forward. It is really good fun, I have to say. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing sort of the past couple of weeks anyway, focusing on getting all these fabric strips cut out. Yeah, and then February just absolutely whizzed by, mainly because there's a half-term break in February, so that takes up a little bit of time with having the children off, and at the same time it was my twins' 7th birthday, so we organised for them to have a birthday party at the bowling alley. So they had a few friends each go to that, and obviously Harry and myself and Simon were there as well, so that was really nice. We had one of the children who didn't turn up, so there was a spare space, so the adults had to go at the bowling as well, so that was quite nice. And yeah, this year I didn't ask them what cake they wanted, because usually every year they give me like what cake they want and I have to try and produce some kind of amazing cake at the end of it. But this time I said, no, I need to make something that's transportable to the bowling alley, so I can't do anything too extravagant. Well, this time I had to go at using sugar paste and the rolled kind of icing, and I was really pleased with my efforts. And again, I'll insert a photo of the cake that went to the bowling alley. So I was really pleased with that. And then I made 2 extra cakes for their actual birthday, which was on the Sunday, because I knew then obviously the following week was half term, so they would be wanting some treats during the week. We go through so much food when they're at home, as you can imagine. They are hungry boys, and they'll eat whatever is put in front of them, so they're not fussy, which is really, really good. So I made them 2 more cakes, just sort of basic ones, and again I'll insert photos of those. So yeah, I was really pleased with that. So I didn't have all that much time to sew for myself, although I did make the Ava blouse by the Dressmakers closet, and I've got a video all about that one, and that was for some kind of a little bit of a sort of Instagram challenge where they were asking people to style it up. So I had 3 styling sort of ways that I uploaded onto Instagram, and yeah, I put that all in the video. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll link a card up above for you so you can see it. I was really pleased with that blouse actually. Yeah, a little bit different to my sort of usual style, but I was really pleased with it, and it's nice to have something a little bit different in my wardrobe. You never know what occasion I might need to wear it for. Yeah, and then I know I promised you, I think it was in January, that I was going to do a Cocoa sew along by Tilly and the Buttons, and that is all cut out still under the bed, ready to go. I just haven't got round to actually doing the sew along as yet, so I haven't touched it because I wanted to do that specifically as the sew along for you, because it's a really nice, quick and easy make to do, and it's one that I use a lot in my everyday wardrobe, so it's a really good pattern. So I will promise you that that is coming up very, very soon. I have got another pattern test to do in the next couple of weeks, but I think that's a fairly straightforward make, so fingers crossed it won't take me too much time. So I'm hoping to squeeze doing the Cocoa sew along in, I'll probably say during April, because I've got So Frugal coming up as well, so another video will be going live over the next week or so. I think my day is on the 21st of March, to share with you some fabric and pattern pics that I found for making up a free pattern. And I'm still at this stage debating on which one I'm going to make, because I am just in 2 minds about a certain fabric choice, let's just say that. So yeah, I'm going to have a think about that. But yeah, like I say, the majority of my sewing has been pattern tests and blog posts and challenges and things like that. So I haven't really gotten on with like anything that I had in my mind that I was going to be doing this year so far. I mean, don't get me wrong, the things that I've made I absolutely love, and the one I've done for the blog post, which is going to be going live tomorrow, is a pattern that I've been meaning to make up for quite a while, and I'm really, really pleased with it. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you all. Yeah, and it was quite a big learning curve with that one actually. So it was something that I've not made before. So lots of learning included in that make. So yeah, that was really nice. What else have I been doing? Oh, I wanted to just say thank you as well, actually, off the back of the Ava blouse video that I put up. If you went ahead and bought that pattern using my affiliate link, I just want to say a huge thank you for doing that. It just gives me a little bit of commission off that. So I'm really, really thankful for that. So thank you. And likewise, if you have bought me any coffees on my Ko-Fi page, thank you so much for that as well. I really do appreciate it. I don't really advertise the fact that I have that. I think I initially set up when I was saving for a camera, but in the end I've been using my Dad's old iPhone, and the money that people had given me over the time that I've had that account for, I put it towards a ring light, just to help me with if I film on an evening, that I've got some light. But I rarely film on an evening, but I do use that ring light ever such a lot, because the lighting in my house on a dark evening is rubbish. So it's so dark. Yeah, and also as well, during February, we had quite a lot of illness in our house. I mean, luckily, I was the only one that didn't catch it. There was like a norovirus going around, I think, at the school. So James got it first, then he recovered, then Thomas got it, and then he recovered, and Harry got it. He recovered, and then Simon got it. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm manning a sinking ship here. Yeah, I was thinking, oh goodness, I don't want to get it, but luckily I didn't. So that was good. Yeah, so here's all my fabric strips that I'm cutting up. I've got, I'm using fat quarters, which makes quite a lot actually. I bought 3 packs of fat quarters from Hobbycraft. And actually, Hobbycraft in Leicester, it's based in Thurmaston on a little sort of retail area, and usually they're not very good for like fabrics and things like that. They have shed loads of fat quarters, but actual fabrics and stuff they don't usually have very many. But I went in there today and they had absolutely loads, all different types of fabrics. So jerseys, fleeces, you know, crepe fabric and things like that, not just cottons, which is usually what they usually stock. But yeah, I was really pleased with what they had in there. So you never know. Excuse me, I just sneezed then. Yeah, you never know. I might be able to use them for fabrics in the future, because they're not too far away for me to go to from my house. So that's quite nice. So yeah, but also their fat quarters are really nice as well. So I'm really pleased with the ones that I've got here. And I'm hoping if I have some left over, then I might be able to make a raggy wreath for my mum for Mother's Day as well. So I'm hoping there's going to be some fabric left over, because this time I have cut out more fabric than we should need, fingers crossed. Yeah, I did notice that some of the cups, they were like, oh yeah, I've nearly finished, look at this, but they hadn't bunched up the actual fabric strips on there enough. It was a bit gappy, so I had to say to them, oh no, you need to put more on there. Move them up. And then, yeah, I'll cut them down and stuff like that. So yeah, February was a little bit of a washout with regards to illness. Luckily, it was all done and dusted before the twins' birthday, so that was really nice. And whilst we had half term as well, Simon had taken a day off, and we went to, I think it's Blist Hill Victorian Town. It's like an outside museum where it's all set up in Victorian times. They've got an old-fashioned sweet shop where you could buy, you know, little packets of or bags of sweets for a weight, I think it was, and then you paid so much towards that. But you could also change some money into old-fashioned money, into like shillings and farthings and things like that, I think it was. And that was a really good day out actually. They've got a really good adventure playground there as well. And the ticket that we bought is valid for a year, so you can go back as many times as you want. I thought that was really good. So hopefully we'll be able to go back there. And that's near Telford in Shropshire, I think that is. So it was about an hour or so for us to travel to, but on the day that we went, it was a really nice spring sunny day. It was really lovely. Yeah, so that was really good. So moving forwards with my sewing then, once I've got this next pattern test out of the way, I do have some more woven pyjamas that I'd like to make. I have made my jersey ones, which I will share in a future makes video. So even though I've done separate videos for the makes that I've done so far, I'm just going to put everything into sort of a multitude of makes video, so that those people that don't watch the individual ones can just see them all in one video, to see what I've actually made this year. Because at one point I was like, have I actually made that much this year so far? But I have made a few bits. I've just forgotten about a few things. So yeah, and I've just been busy obviously with Cubs and the boys' swimming nights and things like that. So yeah, the twins have just passed stage 1 in their swimming, but at the minute they don't have availability in stage 2, or the only availability they did have was Friday night at 7:30. I was like, no, not on a Friday night. That's when we like to have a bit of a chill out, or if we have an evening planned, you know, it's nice to keep that night free. And also 7:30's quite late, isn't it? You know, by the time had the lesson, got home after being showered and into bed. That's quite a late night, and we'd be paying for it the next day. They'd be miserable. So I'm waiting for some more availability to come up on other evenings, you know. Right, so yeah, moving forwards with my sewing then, I've got a few more things that I'd like to sew, so I'm hoping to get on with a few of my own little projects. So just garments and things for myself. I want to do some t-shirts for the boys. I've been meaning to do that for so long now, so I really do need to crack on with that as well. And at the beginning of the year, I did mention that, you know, I'd got quite a fabric stash and I'd be shopping my stash. Well, when I got my fabrics down for So Frugal, I realised I've actually made quite a dent in my fabric stash over the last year or so. And there's certain fabric types that I don't have much of, and that includes jerseys and things like that. So I've got quite a lot of viscose and crepe, but everything else I seem to be quite low on. So I do need to stock up on those because it's nice to have them there. If they think, oh, I want to do a jersey project, and I haven't really got much there at all at the minute. So yeah, and also as well, I've started my Sewcial class, which is going really, really well. I've only had 2 sessions so far, but on my first one, I think I set a limit of 10 people to attend, and I had 10 of us on there, including myself. So I was really pleased with that on my first session, and everybody really enjoyed it. The feedback was really, really good. Yeah, and on the day, I think the lady had met me there to give me the keys. So I didn't have the keys prior to the first session. So it was a bit of a rush to set it all up. But we managed, you know, and provided tea, coffee, hot chocolate, squash, biscuits and things like that, and provided an ironing station and a cutting station, and then laid the room out so that it was in a social setting, so that everybody was facing each other, so we could all chat and sew at the same time. And I really, really enjoyed it. I'll insert some photos here actually, just of what my friend managed to get for me whilst we were there. Just of people getting on with their sewing and stuff like that. But it was really, really nice, and the ladies that I'd not met before, it was really nice to meet them, and everybody was really lovely. And obviously with us all having sewing in common, everybody got on like a house on fire. Yeah, it was really, really good. And I had Anna from You Got Me in Stitches come up all the way from wherever she lives, quite far away. So she came up and visited me for the day, and she stayed for dinner with me and then went home after that. So that was really lovely. It was really nice to have her come up and support me. And also Sam from So Let's Sparkle with Sam. She came up from Leamington Spa, because that's where she is. So yeah, I think she said it was about a 45-minute drive. So she's coming every other week, which is amazing. I'm so appreciative of, yeah, both their support. It was just lovely. Yeah, the second week we had the worst weather ever. I mean, in the Midlands, we don't usually get much snow in comparison to everywhere else, but this time we seem to be the area that got the snow, and it was just treacherous. I mean, I live on quite a steep hill, and from 5:30 in the morning, Simon was saying that they were trying to come up the hill and the snow had settled on the road and they were slipping and sliding all down the bottom. It was ridiculous. And all of the schools were closed, bar ours. I mean, go figure. I don't really understand that, to be honest. I mean, it was great that they did open for the children, and obviously we're in walking distance. It's about a mile for us to walk. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was not happy about having to walk down in the blizzard of the snowstorm that we were having and stuff, but Simon took a flexi day and he walked the boys down with me. Then when we got there, they said, oh, the team who come in to do the cooked dinners aren't there, so could you provide a packed lunch? I was like, I could have done with knowing this about half an hour ago before we left the house. So then we had to walk their packed lunches down later on in the day, and then we picked them up again. So as it's a mile from my house, we'd done 6 miles just to and from school that day, which was quite funny. But yeah, I think they had fun at school. They were allowed out in the playground for, I think it was lunchtime, so they were playing in the snow. And as where we live, as we're on a hill, we get quite a lot of the snow settling up here, and it doesn't disappear as quickly as it does sort of within the village itself. So the boys had made a snowman each before they'd gone off to school, so that was really cute. And yeah, they came back and was playing outside with their remote control cars in the snow, which was really funny. But yeah, so I had, unfortunately, I think 3 cancellations on the day for my Sewcial, which was a bit of a shame, but obviously completely understandable because the roads were quite bad. But then it was funny. We had the like snow blizzard in the morning and everywhere was absolutely covered. Then in the afternoon, the sun was out, it was absolutely beautiful, and it melted the majority of it, apart from our garden. So it was like it was a whole different day. So funny. Yeah, so I had those cancellations, which was a bit of a shame, but I still had, I think there was 5 of us. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. We still had some people there in attendance, and I managed to get quite a bit of my project done, which was for the Felicity Fabrics blog, which is going live tomorrow. So yeah, you'll see that. Yeah, I'm so pleased with that make. So that was nice to actually have a bit of time to do that, you know. And my neighbour who's coming, she's not really done any dressmaking before, so she's also lost quite a bit of weight recently, so we are altering her clothes and things. But she did put this one top on, which was quite funny, and she turned it inside out, and I looked at it and I said, that's actually just too much to take in. It was too much fabric, and I think it was an oversized top anyway. So I said, right, let's just take it apart completely, and then we'll find a pattern where we can fit that onto the fabric. And so that's what we've done. And she is making the Tilly and the Buttons Stevie top. So I'm really pleased that she's able to reuse the fabric from a top that was too big for her, and I'm helping her to sew it up because she's never sewn a garment before, so this is completely new for her. So even though it's not a teacher-led class, I have said, you know, I am on hand to help out with people that need help and stuff, but I'm not really up for sewing things for them. I want them to be able to do it themselves, so I'm happy to help teach them as such, but I'm not specifically teaching them as a whole class, you know. I'm just sort of helping out and guiding, I suppose. But yeah, I really enjoy that as well. So I mean, I don't mind if I don't get hardly anything done for myself. I just enjoy that time socialising with everybody and providing a nice social setting for people to come along and mingle and, you know, get on with their own projects and stuff. I even had one lady come along and she was just doing hand sewing. So yeah, she didn't even bring her machine. And that was really nice as well, because she said if she was at home, she wouldn't set that time aside to do it. She'd pick up the hoover or, you know, get on with doing some housework, or something else would crop up, you know. Whereas if you actually have a place to go to for a few hours and it's specifically to do your project or whatever, then you make the time to do it, which is, I think, the good thing about it. And I asked everybody what worked with regards to my advertising, and it seemed that a lot of the spotted Facebook groups had worked. Also, my posters in the village had worked as well. So I haven't actually placed an ad in a local magazine as yet, because I wanted to wait to see if I needed to do that, because obviously that's going to be an added cost on top of the hire of the hall and that kind of thing. So yeah, but I'm really pleased with how it's going so far. It's nice to have that to look forward to every Thursday. So yeah, it's just going really well. I'm really, really pleased. And I managed to find a local sort of electrician person in the village, and they have pat tested one of the extension leads that I take, and she's going to pat test my sewing machine as well on top of that. So I'm going to take that round there tomorrow. And I also bought brand new sort of extension leads, so you don't have to have those pat tested for a year, which is really good. So the power supply is fine, because I was initially quite worried about where the plug sockets were located and how I was going to get power to everybody's machines, because as you know, the cables for sewing machines are not very long, are they? So yeah, I've managed to sort it, and I think at full capacity I could probably hold, I think, about 14 people. So I think that's more than enough. I think any more would be a bit too noisy. Yeah, but at the moment I've had a maximum of 10, which is quite a nice amount. Yeah, so anyway, in the future, I may well hold the odd Saturday session. At the moment, it is just every Thursday at the Anstey Methodist Church, 10 till 1. And I'm doing that weekly, so that's going really well. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the Easter holidays as yet, because I need to ask if people are wanting to come, because obviously the boys are off school and my parents are away, so I don't have any backup for anybody to look after the boys for those sessions. So I either hold it and they have to come with me and I have to entertain them somehow, or I don't hold it for those 2 sessions. I'm just sort of going to get the feelers as to whether people are actually going to be away on holiday, you know, whether it's worth me actually holding the sessions. I will see. But yeah, I think during the 6 weeks holiday in the summer, obviously it won't be on when I'm on holiday, but I will probably try and hold it on the other weeks, because my mum and dad should be around to have the boys for those few hours. Yeah, and they like spending time with their nanny and grumpy. Yeah, so I think that's basically brought me up to date with where I'm at with everything, really. No, actually there was something else that I needed to say. Yeah, how could I forget this? So this weekend is the Sewing for Pleasure show at the NEC in Birmingham, and Crafty So and So are going to be there, and they are holding a catwalk kind of show for their My Handmade Wardrobe patterns. And also they have asked people who attended the Dressmakers ball to go on the catwalk and sort of have a little twirl in their frock that they wore for the Dressmakers ball last year. So I'm going to go to that, and I'm going to get my frock on again and have a little strut down the catwalk. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I have also put my hand up to say that I would model some of their patterns for their My Handmade Wardrobe, and I think they've also got a new sort of pattern sort of set coming out for vintage style patterns. I think it's called Pin Curls or something like that. Yeah, I just had to send them my measurements, and then they're going to put me in some clothes that fit me, and I'll sort of go down the catwalk to show them off. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not going to the Stitch Festival again this year, unfortunately, because Simon is on call that weekend, so it means that I have to be around for the boys and things. Yeah, so I'm not going to go to that one, unfortunately, but it's really nice to have the Sewing for Pleasure show at the NEC in Birmingham, for me to go to that, and it's quite local, so for me it's only about an hour away, so that's quite nice. Simon's not coming. I just say, do you want to come? He said no. So my mum and my dad are actually coming with me, because my mum, I said to my mum, oh, do you want to come with me? Because, you know, she likes to go to those sort of shows as well, but she's a little bit worried about driving on the motorway. So my dad's going to come along, and I said, are you sure you want to come? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, you can carry our bags if you like. That's absolutely fine. So, I mean, he did come to the Stitch Festival with me last year when I did the catwalk there as well. So, yeah, he knows what it entails, you know, and stuff. So that's going to be really, really nice. I'm really looking forward to that. And actually, a couple of the ladies who go to my sewing group, they're going as well, so that's going to be really nice to see them there as well. And even one of the ladies attended the ball, and I said, oh goodness, I had no idea that you were there. You know, we hadn't actually spoken to each other at the ball, which was quite funny, you know. So I'll get to see her in her frock, and then perhaps I'll recognise the frock, you know. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, so that's really nice. A self-indulgent day, and I think Simon's going to go down to Birmingham for the day with the boys, because it's the day before Mother's Day, so he'll go and see his mum, and obviously I'll be with my mum, so that'd be quite nice. Yeah, and then lastly, tomorrow on Wednesday, oh, I'm so excited, we are getting a new set of rabbits, or a couple of rabbits. We lost our 2 rabbits. If you probably have heard about this, if you haven't, then we had some rabbits that we had for about a year and a half, and we lost them both last year within 6 days of each other. It was really horrible, but we had left it until now, because we wanted to wait until sort of the spring came around to have the warmer months ahead of us, so that if they weren't used to being outside, they could adjust to the temperature and not just throw them in there when it's absolutely freezing cold. So yeah, they're coming tomorrow, and we've got they're a pair, a male and female pair, and they're Netherland dwarfs, so they're slightly smaller than our previous rabbits. And it's a breed that I've not had before, but they are already bonded, already neutered, already vaccinated. So all that is all done for us already, because when I'd put sort of feelers out there to getting a new pair, we decided to go to a rescue place this time. I did my research, you know, and made sure that we were going somewhere where we could rehome a pair of rabbits. And I basically said to the lady who runs it, you know, that we were a little bit concerned about having a pair of males because of ours fighting last time. And so she said, yeah, that's fine. We've got pairs that are already bonded who have been together a little while. And she said, I'll let you know what sort we have. Really pleased with these little cuties. I'll put a picture on the screen actually that the lady sent me. I'm so excited to get them, and I really hope that it does work out for us this time. She had all the measurements, all the photos of our setup and stuff like that, so I am hoping that the rabbits will be happy in there. She was happy with the setup and stuff, so you know, it's fox proof. It's weatherproof, so yeah, I think they will be very happy in their new little home. Fingers crossed. Oh, I've cut them all out, so that's good. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it. So I went out on the weekend and got all of the new straw and hay and things like that, because last time after the rabbits had passed away, I got rid of all the old straw and hay just in case there was anything in there, you know, wrong with it or something. And we've still got all of the food because I bought a brand new bag just before they passed away. Yeah, and the sawdust and stuff I went and got, and new water bottles and things. So yeah, I'm really excited to get them. And I think the boys will be over the moon as well, you know, because we've missed having some pets, and it's so lovely to have them there. I really enjoy having the company when I'm at home to go out and see them and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I cannot wait. Oh, you know, so yeah, I just made sure that this time we went to an appropriate place where we were going to be looked after properly. So she said, like, if you have any problems with them, she'll always be on hand to answer any questions, you know, to even if for any reason we can no longer have them, she would have them back. She said it's a lifetime guarantee that you always give them back to them. You don't just sell them on to anybody else or anything like that. So I thought that was really nice. But she said, yeah, they shouldn't fight because they're already bonded. Yeah, they look such a cute pair. So that's going to be nice. Yeah, so that's it. I think that's brought me up to date with everything. It's been a bit of a rambly video. You know, I can chat. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed hearing about what I've been getting up to and what, yeah, all the things and stuff that I've been doing. And I hope that you have been enjoying getting on with some sewing yourself, and that you're taking part in Sew Frugal. If you are, let me know, and I'll have a look at the hashtag at the end of the month to see what everybody has been making. I think it's such a good challenge. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining me today, and I shall see you again soon. Take care. Bye.